Hey everybody, welcome back to Space Engineers Quest for Peas as we finish up the farm. So you can see that I have converted the MPV back into welding because, well, the build and repair were just taking so damn long. I thought I'd handle things myself, as you can see in the clip, and things were going swimmingly until I ran out of both silicone and iron. So that's where we're going to start today, is getting this thing back into drilling shape, firing up one more sweep on the iron, because I think that's all I'm going to get from the iron mine before I have to upgrade it and add another piston in there. But let's get back into our own character here. There we go. So the first thing I need to do is let's get over here and turn on our iron mine. Ow. So we can see here that we've only got 1 meter's worth left, but hopefully that will be enough to get us our last of our windows going here. So we'll hit the old, let's get off the hinge here. Let's hit the old reverse the hinge, and off it goes. And now we can go back to the MPV and convert it up to being a grinder. Okay, so what is the actual plan today? So like I said, I've done a bunch of welding on the greenhouse. There's still more to go, which is why I'm going to go get some more silicon so I can get my bulletproof glass, and we'll see how much iron I get out of there. I may have to go update that, but otherwise, the only area of the base that's not finished yet is, in fact, the garage. So the two kinds of business I have today is, one, getting this actually into a working farm. Yes, I've planted a couple of crops, but only for, 4 beds for testing purposes, and that's not really gonna do it. So I want to make sure I have all of the foodstuffs, which means I'm going to need to do some scouting. In that scouting, I'm probably going to kick off a few more encounters out there because they are based on the amount of travel, and I haven't really gone anywhere in the last long little while since my misadventure with the previous pirates. And of course I need to finish off the garage, and I kind of have an idea I want to try with the garage here. So we've got the opening there, but we don't really have an opening for this, and I have an idea that I want to try out and see if I can get it to work. That involves kind of that area there. So a few things to do today, kind of in the cleanup, and only thing left to do, the only thing to do is to get to it. So first things first, let's get our drills back on here. I've currently got Bob turned off, so I'm going to have to clean up myself. The reason I turned off Bob is as I was trying to get the welder filled up, Bob was stealing everything. So Bob, of course, being the build and repair system. Okay, so let's get a new one of these in here, and of course I don't have any of the supplies that I'm going to need, but that's fine. We can just go grab them here. Alright, drills are installed, and we're back off to the silicon and get a load for that, and hopefully we can get the windows done. I didn't turn Bob on, mostly because it would be pretty pointless, because there is not a girder or a bit of bulletproof glass to be found on the base, which is a little bit of what I expected. I'm actually surprised at how much silicon I've had to gather. This is actually kind of the most silicon I've ever needed to drill out, to be perfectly honest. Okay, swing around. There we go. Because normally, you can get a lifetime of supply just from digging out stone, but here we are. Oh, how did I end up on my side like this? No! Bad wrong. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Get her moving. Nope. Come on, roll it over. There we go. Jeez. This thing is tippy. I think I might have to put another gyro in it or something. All right. All right. Should be enough for now. Let's try to get out of my hole here again without flipping over. So we'll roll it out and up. Ooh, watch out, watch out, watch out. No, 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 no. Come on. Come on, girl. You got this. You got this. There we go. Okay. Woo. Yeah, I think I might have to put another gyro in. Okay, we'll turn off our braking thruster, get our coast going, and get this thing dropped off. Hopefully we'll have a good load of iron back at the base. We can get our welders put back on this thing and finish getting the greenhouse welded up and move on to the next thing. All right, let's get her back into position here and lock up. And let's go see what that's done and see how much iron we have. All right. Silicon. Okay, so we're doing okay on silicon there now. Iron, I've got 225. Just need to figure out why it's not refining. Let's run over to the refinery here. Probably put a safety railing there sometime soon. And of course it's doing cobalt. Let's make sure we're back to doing iron. So please be working on my iron. Yeah, you can work on some stone that I ended up picking up. You can see right away how the iron gets vacuumed up. What's happening in the other refinery? Again, it's doing cobalt. Let's once again just make sure you're working on my iron because I got more than enough cobalt. Don't think I am running Izzy's. Yeah, that's not running Izzy's. That's just my displays. So I haven't fired up Izzy's yet. Mostly because I don't think I need it, even though Izzy's inventory manager will kind of monitor and manage your refineries as well. Okay, so there we go. You can see here that my assemblers are back to functioning. So if you look in our production there, yeah, we're getting all caught up again. Silicon, I do have silicon in here. I'm not sure why it's not doing my bulletproof glass. So let's have a look at the other assembler. Let's keep you going on your bulletproof glass there. Why again are you not doing my silicon when I have 5.7K of it? Can we please have our silicon in our refinery? So this is number 3. Where is all the silicon gone? Long time passing, there's not much there. Where is all the silicon? There's my silicon. It's all somewhere else. Okay, well, let's get some silicon going. And again, enough with the cobalt. Oh, that's where it's all hiding. It's in that survival kit. Why are you hiding in the survival kit? Can we not come out here? Make sure that's turned off. That's the survival kit on the rover there. You're slowly hammering it away. Not great. How about some iron? Do you need some iron in there, buddy? We have some iron ingots somewhere we can feed you? Okay, so that's number 2. What's happening in number 3? You're not doing anything. Why aren't you doing anything? Well, let's get you doing some more of that. All right, you're not enjoying those, so let's get you doing some more girders. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I think... Oof. Yep, going through an awful lot of that silicon. Okay, so let's get this thing back into being a welder, because I'd really like to get that stuff finished. Actually, maybe what I'll do here, let's turn Bob back on. And while we're distracted, we can let him do his thing. All right, so I just need a terminal here. Let's go into our build system. Pretty sure I have a switch on this, but we should hopefully now have enough resources. Yeah, so they're welding things up. I mean, I got most of this wing done. I've got, this strip done here. That was loud, thank you. But we are getting there. All right. So the next thing I want to do, like I said, I want to have like a little bit, one more vehicle in here. So I think what I'm going to do is let's grab a block and grab some paint. So I'm going to mark kind of this area here. As you know, whoop, no, didn't mean to get that one, but we'll fix that in a sec. We'll fix all of these in a sec. Let's go and get this all cleaned up here and grab our paint. There we go. Make sure we're painting the right colors, and there we go. Okay, so this is going to be kind of keep this area clean here, so we have the different paths coming through. We can also come through here, paint that, so we mark our various bays here. So that can go to there, that can go to there. That means on this side here, I want to add another kind of little bit of the building, because I need one more handy dandy little vehicle here, and that's one that I can use for basically quick scouting. Something that's not big, cumbersome, that's pretty cheap to make. Cheap as in resources. It's straightforward, but for what I need it to do, which is basic scouting, it is just going to be the thing. So I'm just going to fill these blocks in here. I'm going to take it all the way to the end, even though it's more than space than I'm going to actually need. But, I can use that space for other things. Like maybe some storage, shelves, just, kind of decorate it up, tart it up a little bit. All right, one more row. You keep it coming, boys. Okay, so let's get a little bit of conveyance. There we go. All right.
Fuel critical.
That's easy enough to fix. Eat some more kelp chips and refill the bottle. And tea. There we go. And refill our bottles. Okay. That's doing its thing. That's all getting caught up. Let's get a wall in here. Keep out, the various critters. We'll come back to here. It doesn't need to be the full length. I think I want to take this all the way to, the cliff face here. Just so, it looks like it's anchored in. That potentially gives a place for the little piggies to sneak through, but, that's fine. Okay. All right, you got that. Need some conveyor, probably coming down here. So my conveyors are all way down here. they all kind of tie in there, but we have this little guy poking out. So let's grab a junction, and then we'll go into these guys here. Like that. Actually, scratch this. I'm doing this in the wrong place. What I need to do is cut over from this side. Alright, so where do I want to put you? I want to keep this next thing just out of the way. And yeah, I'm being a little bit vague and cagey here on what it is that I'm actually going to be producing or making. It's a bit of a surprise. Well, not really. It's just easier to show than tell. Okay, so let's get some conveyors again. Actually, how do I want to do? Let's start from over here. Yeah, we'll come in from here. So we're gonna need one of them. I could go into the floor and use them part of the floor, but I don't like doing that. I like to keep the floor kind of universal here. Okay, I need to do a little bit of clearing here. There we go, just so I can see where I'm going to come up. And right through here. Okay, let's... There. Okay, now we need a T-junction. There we go. I'm going to put one of them in like that. And then we can go back to a straight junction. Like that. And we'll dance on the ceiling here to bring in a corner piece. Close. Too close. Can't see. Too close. Like that. There we go. Okay. We'll let Bob deal with those things while we go finish setting up stuff over here. So yeah, the thing I'm going to be build, obviously you can tell, is not going to be a big one because I'm using the small connector. Not really going to be dealing with any cargo. It is going to be just a scout craft. I am going to be building it off a projector, so we are going to need something here for a small grid projector. Let's actually mount the hinge to the top here. Like that, and then we can get rid of the middle piece. And let's put in a medium head. Excellent. Rotate you that away. And back to 0, and we'll set you to 90 degrees as well, so I just don't want you guys moving around. In fact, let's take your lock and your braking torque up to full power. Excellent. All right, need to shut Bob down again. Except I'm not going to shut him all the way down, so all the 4 chapters of it. What I'm going to do is turn off the build new. And what that does, it just means it won't build from projectors, but it will keep kind of welding anything that is already placed. Okay, so under the sounds of the welding, I'm going to grab a projector here and get you pointing that way. Actually, before I do that, let's put one of these in here. It's just a little easier to have access to the rear control panel that they added. So we'll put one of those there. Get you all welded up. Yeah, every time I put it in the build planner, these guys then show up. Okay, so the blueprint I want, and this can be found on the workshop. And I shall put a link in the description. Pardon me, is Scooty Jr. So Scooty Jr. is basically my little speeder bike. It's what I use when I just need to get somewhere and I'm not picking stuff up. I just want to do a little scouting. So we're going to move it forward like so. We are going to find the direction like that, and then yaw. Nope. Nope. There we go. Okay, so that's got it at the right level. Now I just have to line it up with the connector, because I like to get down to the connector as quickly as possible. So we'll go down. Attaching point. We need some blocks. So we'll just come out through here. And like that. And there we go. So even though they won't, the build and repair won't build from a projector, if I get the block started, they will come along and finish those off. So I'm just going to quickly touch everything that I can with the torch. Okay, let's empty the pockets and let's start maybe helping these guys out a little bit. And am I out of bulletproof glass again? Let's see what the inventory has to say. Glass. Oh yeah, very, very much out. And, oh boy. And we're running low on resources. Okay, well these guys are doing their thing. Let's go have a look at the resource board again. So I still got lots of iron, it's just not being processed. I still have lots of silicone, it's just not being processed. Alrighty, so that means we need to... I didn't have to go all the way over to the... Okay, that's for the 50 billionth time I've gone up there. I think I finally want to take care of getting some safety railings on here and getting that OSHA compliant. Let's clear our build planner, just so I can have some railings here, and we'll put... There we go. So now I can go up here, have a nice little walkway, I can get across, I can get up through there. Yeah, just a little bit easier to move around. Okay, back into here. And once again, we are working on cobalt. I'm going to replace the cobalt with stone, pull the cobalt out, and throw a bunch of iron in behind. And we'll just keep loading it up with stone. That's going to give me silicon. That's going to give me iron. That will give me my production. Did I have the silicone in the container? Yes, I did. It's right there. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, looks like Scooty is more or less ready to go. Just need a little bit of bulletproof glass here, and a little bit of bulletproof glass, a little bit of bulletproof glass. Let's get rid of this block. Hello, Mr. Piggy. That, of course, fell because I did turn off the dampeners, but we can come in here, turn the dampeners on, lift her up, and park her into place. Oh, that's done. Okay, good. All right. Why do I feel like I'm missing a screen here? Probably because I am, but you know what? That's fine. Okay, I'm gonna let that charge for a few minutes. So let's just make sure our batteries are recharging. I want to get those batteries recharging before I head out, and we can jump off here. Okay, so that's gonna be parking. I'm gonna leave all this stuff gonna be parking as well. Let's do a little bit of maybe some wall work here, just to kind of mark that like that. Couple of these in like that. All right, now for over here, what I actually want to do is I'm going to pull this row out, because I'm going to make kind of a secondary entrance over here, mostly a flying one, so I can exit through here pretty easily, but getting in and out might be a little bit tricky, and I have to go up and around the hill and underneath and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, it's not super inconvenient. Let's be honest, it's really not that super inconvenient. I can still get around here, especially if I fill in that little bit right there. Hello, Mr. Pig. But for funsies, I want to play with some of the new blocks, namely the rounded top ones. So that would be in the latest update, these guys here, the rounded edge blocks, because they work really well if you want to set up. We're going to put that there, put that there, put that there. Yep, that'll work better. Then I can grab a hinge and make sure that goes there. Let's go refill the jetpack again. We're gonna have positive pointing up, negative pointing down. There's a little notch on the hinge. So if you look right there, whoop, let's see if we can't get it. So if you can see that little notch kind of at the 10 o'clock position, that means that is the positive direction, I believe. Or is that the negative direction? I don't know, but I'm going to make sure they're going in the right direction. Going to get rid of that. Then I can put in one of these. We can go back and grab one of these. So clearly I'm building some form of ramping type system, but ooh, it's going to be more than that. I'm going to put one of those in there, because I'm going to land and grab myself a hinge part. Put right there. There you go. We can lock that up. Let's also now attach that hinge part. So we going to use build vision here. Hinge. Nope. Hinge. Come on. Give me the hinge. Not the hinge part. Hinge. There we go. And attach. All right, and I'm also going to turn this guy off. Actually, let's rename it here to ramp follow hinge. And no torque anywhere near it. It is purely there for more or less aesthetic reasons. Okay, so no velocity, no torque. All of that will be controlled with this guy. So again, let's see what direction we go. If I go into a positive direction, yep, we get that nice clearance. That's what these new blocks do, is they give us some really amazing clearance there. Yeah, I know I'm moving a bunch of parts lying around, but again, that's what Bob's for. And I entirely blame Captain Jack of the XP Gamers for me calling the build and repair as Bob, as he's the one who started it. Okay. All right, so how many blocks am I going up here? I'm going 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I want 4 blocks here. 1, 2, so that's 3. And then I need row 4, which we're going to do with some of these. One of those and one of those, because I'm going to now grab me a hinge. Yep, have the notch go in the same direction. Again, we're going to remove that bit there. You can grab one of these so we can get these guys. Nope, didn't go up far enough. That's me. Nope, sorry guys, stop. You want to clean that stuff up for me? Thank you. Appreciate it, boys. Okay, so that goes up to that height there. Now I can grab my hinge. We'll grab one hinge there, one hinge there. We'll get rid of the hinge part. And then grab our blocks. That can go there, and that can go there, and then I need a hinge part in here. And attach. And let's make sure this one's attached. Like that. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to set a hinge limit here. For the lower limit to be 0. I'm going to set a hinge limit here. Not that it really matters. To be 0. We're going to take your torque all the way out. We are going to turn it off so it's just a freewheeler. That means if I take this guy now and just give it some negative movement, let's say, ooh, why are you getting jammed? Don't get jammed. Who you getting stuck on there, feller? Ah, that was the problem. Improperly placed blocks. Those all need to be there. You are floating. You're floating. They all latched onto the wrong thing. Let's get this done right this time. Okay, let's try that again. It means I need to remove you. I know. I just keep throwing stuff down. I'm ignoring the inventory full warnings. I'm just doing everything wrong and upsetting to people. There we go. I don't actually have to attach this. I mean, this is just a visual, but okay. Yep, thank you guys. Go clean that up for me, will you? All right, let's get a few more blocks across the top here. I'm going to need to reverse you. Let's bring that down. My little observation block has finally seen its last. All right. So, I'm not going to super overcomplicate it, but I am going to grab you guys here because I want to put that there. And all right, let's get you straightened up now. So I'm probably gonna crank up the torque here. Let's again reverse you. Make sure you're not flipping anything. Nope, you slide right past just like I hoped you would. Then on here. And I'm guessing you're all kind of getting an idea where this is going to go. So we're going to drop this down. Let's slow you down. Oh, and there it is. Okay, almost exactly where I want it. Let's turn off any power here. And let's see what we can do about shaping this a little bit nicer. How's that angle, though? See, the angle's actually not too bad. I just need to level this off a little bit, so let's do this. Let's grab our drill. Okay, gonna open that up a little bit. Let's grab... Probably need support down here anyway. Oh, let's grab what? We're gonna grab this. Boop, 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 boop. Ooh, that actually is really quite nice. That's almost exactly where I wanted it. Is the plan working? Is it going to work? I don't know. Prognosis is looking slightly okay. Okay, so we're gonna make a little bit of a landing platform here, or a landing as the case may be. Need to clear some more terrain here. So we do a little bit more right-click drilling. Like that. And we can lay some more blocks down. Start filling this little hole here. Making sure it's not subtle where that ramp is going, and like that. There we go. And across here. And a little bit more into the hill here. Let me turn on my flashlight so I can see what I'm doing. All right, and fill all of you in. Like that. All right. Now I'm going to put in, just for checking, one of those and one of those. Go back to our hinge here. And we are going to the negative. Oh, come on. A little bit out of the range. Okay, so let's set this to... Nope, not there. Like minus 20. And bring it down. Cool, I can see what I'm doing here. And 21, 22, 23. Okay, and there we go. One accessible ramp. Now the question is, can I drive off of this ramp? So we're going to unlock, creep it forward, maneuver it over. Easy does it. Let's go into third person. Yeah, I'll just have to smooth a little bit more terrain, but that was freaking smooth. All right, and reverse. It really doesn't like driving on ice, so we'll use a little extra gyro kick there. But yeah, so now I can come along here, And I can drive up like so. Move around just a little bit. You know, practice will make perfect here. 5? Yeah. That's with my suspension all the way down. Cool. And lock. Alright, that'll work. Width-wise, have I got enough width for the flyer? Do I want to go one more block? I won't know until I try and do it. Alright. Okay. Okay. Let's go with an inside corner. Or maybe not. Let's try that again. Can I have an inside corner here? No, because my hinge is in the way. Alright. Let's set up the hinge here. So I'm going to need a timing block. I'm going to set up my hinges with a timing block. I don't like the old ones. I really do prefer the new ones. And there we go. All right, timing block. Probably only need the one. Let's get some hinges renamed. So this is ramp, hinge base, ramp, hinge base. I'm slowly sliding down, but that's okay. Ramp, hinge, elbow. That's got the right direction. What's your speed? Let's set you to -2. No, let's set you to -1.5. Upper limit 90, lower limit -25. We're going to keep your speed at -2. All right. So we can go into our ramp. Ramp follow hinge. That's okay. That's fine. Ramp hinge elbow. It's on a subgrid. Ramp hinges. Okay, and then in the timer, we'll call this ramp hinge timer. Don't need a delay. I do need some hinges though, so ramp hinges, and we're just going to have a simple reverse upon triggering. All right, so we're going to come over here now. Let's get a panel. I'll just put a little quick button down right here. And just a single button, that's all I need. Of course, I don't have the parts on me. There we go. Put one of those in there. Stop floating. And ramp timer. Trigger now. So we go boop. And up comes the hinge and the ramp. Just make sure it's actually clearing the top there. Ooh, look at that. That actually kind of works. Huh. I'm not so surprised. Which means I don't need this block. We'll have to move that, but let's see what happens when I unfurl. You clear everything. Lovely. Excellent. Okay. Let's put this block in. And yeah, I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Okay, sorry, you're in the wrong place. I need to get rid of you. I'm going to change you out and you out just because I'm feeling you're just a little bit too narrow. We'll maintain the stripe. We'll maintain the stripe. Means I'm also going to have to get rid of that block and that block. So we can now grab some orange stripies. I could probably switch this out now. Or one of these. And I'm gonna keep it the safety orange. Haha, beat them. Alright, what do we got? Okay, we have something to do with doors here. We have our garage doors, so we are going to open close on that, and then I need my ramp timer, which is right there, which I'm going to put right there, which is going to be trigger now. So we can open these guys, or we can flip this guy. There we go. Let's get the rest of these in. And we need a couple more of these. One there. And one there. Okay. Well, yeah, we're starting to come together. It's a bit of a low roof for the MPV, but you know what? It has still got plenty of clearance. Getting in and out is going to be the easy part. I mean, it just got to back up a little bit, so... Yeah! I'm liking it so far. I'm not... Well, I don't know if I'm liking, but I'm certainly not unhappy with where we are so far. Now we just have to kind of figure out what to do with the kind of open spaces here. So we'll come in with like that and like that. So we got some 3x2, which means I can break out the 3x2 window, which I have no girders for, so let's go grab some girders. All right, what I want to do here is I'm just going to go in with some of these pieces here. Just again, sort of really differentiate that there's something different about that section of the building. You know, it's slightly raised up, it's got some fancy painting on it, and I'm running out of freaking jetpack juice again. Fine, just...
Fuel critical.
We'll just set back down on the ground. There we go. Okay, let's go refill this again. Okay, then we go up there, we go up there, we go up there. So we're gonna have some nice orange lights here. Actually, while I'm here, let's do a quick renaming. We're gonna go ramp edge light. We're gonna copy that, so we're gonna hit insert, page up. Then I'm gonna hold control, look at that, and hit page down to paste that in, and that's gonna paste that name across all of these different lights. So it's gonna paste the color setting, and it's gonna paste the name. We're gonna do the same thing. We'll just paste in, paste in, paste in, paste in. There we go. And then we can go find ourselves a little bit of a control panel right here. So we'll go and find more ramp edge light. These, of course, are going to be all subgridded because they are on subgrid, so they're going to have different colors. but we're going to go ramp, edge, lights. Save that group. And then we're going to find our ramp timer. And in the actions, along with reversing the hinge, we are also going to turn the lights on and off. Edge lights. So let's turn them off for now, because I don't want them on when the ramp is closed. Let's eat a kelp chip before we do this. Okay, so here we go with the carport. Let's turn that off, see how we're doing with light. I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjustment here. Let's get some light set before we do our test. So we'll expand the radius. We'll bring the intensity down. We'll bring the fall off down a little bit. We're going to call this, I do love these lights, garage light. Add a little bit of warming to them by taking down our blue and a little bit of the green. We'll bring a little bit of yellowish. Actually, maybe a little bit more of the blue. There we go. That's a little warmer. And again, we'll hit insert and page up. That's going to copy those settings, and I'm going to paste these on the rest of these lights. At least the ones that are within my build vision range from this spot here. So we'll get all these guys. There we go. Grab these guys over here. Like so. Of course, it is daytime, so it's not really a fair test, but that's pretty good. Let's hit a button, see what happens. Hit the button, lights turn on. Ramp out folds. Easily walk across. Ramp gets stuck. Why is ramp getting stuck? Where is ramp getting stuck? Oh, getting stuck over here. Okay, so we're gonna have to clear this out. And let's get a few blocks underneath. It shouldn't be too hard. There we go. That actually drops down perfectly. I don't even need to put... Ooh, I love it. All right. I want to clean that up a little bit, so let's grab one of these. Actually, let's put that right there. And let's get the ramp out of the way. All right. Should probably have a button on the outside here as well, like down here somewhere. But while I'm also down here, not exactly a great day for scouting at the moment, so I'll keep finishing this. I actually want to get this done. We're very close to having the base finish. All I need to do is get some few more blocks in. Now, I don't think this notch is necessary for the edge of the ramp to come down, but I'm going to leave it there anyway. But we are going to move that dirt out of the way just so it doesn't show. That's fine there. There we go. Okay. That way I can move this guy back a little bit. So we're going to put you there. Like that. Nope. I need a piston. That's what I meant to grab. We're going to put a piston there. Now I can grab a drill. Oh, of course you are. And of course you're being blocked by the very thing that I want you to get rid of. Okay. Let's grab another drill. Okay, so that's what I wanted to hear. Let's turn these drills on. Yeah, fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's going to blow some of the blocks up. That's perfectly okay. Because I'm just going to push this drill out. Try to smooth out that bit of rock there. Blow up some more. Basically, I just want a bit of a more of a drive up into the ramp there. Okay, that's far enough. Now, I did not do terrain clearing, so there is going to be stone in here. But the little guy should clean all that up. Yeah, you can see there they're coming. They're picking everything up. So that's just hunky-dory. Again, they can kind of develop, you can develop a bit of a bad habit with these guys being around. Because they do clean up, you know, after you. But, you know, just try to be respectful of them. Or at least appreciate them. Alright, let's come in through here. Give it a nice bit of an edge. And then we'll build up like a little bit of a retaining wall here. That should be clear of the big old ramp coming down. Alright, the cleaning crew's come through and picked up all of my mess, so now I can just start welding. So we'll need to grab a bunch of steel plates. I'm just grabbing up the last little bits of parts that I'm gonna need, I think. Oh, sure, of course. Just as I grab the parts, you guys come along and weld stuff up. All right, let's get this button set up for the ramp timer. So we're gonna trigger you now, so now I can hit that button, and the ramp will unfold. Nice and majestically. Dropping down into place. Okay, need a few more blocks here, looks like. Just to keep this E sign even. Let's see if I can get that to snap in. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And let's go push the button again. What lifts up out of the way. Kinda liking it. I like the ramp. Those curved blocks really make ramp building so much easier. And the big thing is I don't have to use the blast doors. You can use full blocks. They give you that really lovely clearance. So, yay. Thank you, Keen Software House, for that rather lovely update. Okay, a couple more, you know, I keep saying that, a couple more blocks and we're done, and a couple more of this and we're a couple more of that. We're never going to be done. But we are definitely progressing. There we go. Again, we'll push our button. That'll drop our ramp. Majestically unfolding. And I've intentionally got the hinges going at different speeds because I want this to curl up and uncurl. Mostly to curl up faster than the other side does. Yeah, we can get up and down from there. And we have a nice open space. Of course, when we want to secure the place, we can then just hit that button. Turns the lights off, folds up the hinges. Like so. Awesome. Okay, that is great. I got the good garage. Let's try that in English. I have now finished off the garage. Now, while my back was turned, what have you guys been doing? What hasn't been welded? All of that is welded. All of this is almost... No. Yeah, a couple more pieces that the build and repair can't reach. These guys are all welded up. These guys did not expect to be welded up because they're just out of reach of the build and repair. But we can take care of that right now, so we'll just add a bunch to the build planner. What am I doing? I'm going to eat a kelp chip just because, again, my food's getting low. Why did it get so quiet? Ooh. Yeah, that ain't creepy at all.
Energy low.
Apparently I get to weld one window. Oh, look, two at overload. And of course, now I'm chasing bulletproof glass again. Okay, I'll weld that up on my own time. Algae Tower is doing its thing. Mostly everything's done up. Yeah, I can hear the running of these little wheels here, but that's okay. And we can head down here. We can run down our really nice, long, elegant staircase. gotta think about things I can do about the outside, kind of decorate it up a little bit. Definitely gotta get more railings in, but for the most part, I'm thinking the base is done. It's a bit boxy, but you know, we'll see what we can do to kind of pretty it up a little bit. It's not about being, you know, a fancy architecture. It is, can I do this without, there we go. It is about, you know, is it a functional base? And I think that is a functional base. We've got living quarters, we've got the farm, of course we got rain again. Windmills are turning. We've got our kind of garage bay with our lovely display windows. We've still got a little bit of space for parking some stuff here. If we need to, we can punch that wall through. I like the ramp. I'm really kind of happy with how the ramp turned out. That is, yeah, no, that's great. This is good. I like this. I like these. I like these new blocks. So there you go. We are done. We got the base. So next time, we're going to take Mr. Scooty here. He should be all fully charged. We're going to go make sure we can get the rest of our veggies. So we need grain. Pardon me. We need grain. We need mushrooms. I want to get a couple of crops in, make sure I have some good supplies set in. We'll take a trip over to the trade department, trade station, see if they want to buy anything that I'm selling. Otherwise, it's time to start thinking about heading up into space. And it's also time to decide whether or not I want to bring in some additional danger, so to speak, and that is the MES, the multiple or modular encounter system, and a few of those enemies, because some of them will not leave me alone, and I kind of want to bring a little bit of attention up on the series. Ooh, turn, yes, go spinny, spinny, spinny. But you know, we got lots of plans. We still got to head to space. We're gonna need a ship to be able to do that. We need to get platinum. I want to get some insect meat, make sure I have the full menu, so to speak. But that is what we're going to kind of think about for the rest in going into the year. This is, of course, we are in 2026. I'm recording this in the last days of 2025. But by the time this comes out, it will be 2026. So, you know, full year ahead of us to start thinking about what adventures we want to carry. But until then, thank you all for watching. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed and you stayed with me to the end, maybe think about hitting the subscription button. You clearly find something interesting here. And if you want to help support the channel, you can become a channel member by clicking in the link in the description or hitting the join button down below. Big shout out to channel member Lee Barron. He gets to see this video earlier than everyone else, and that's the perks of membership, as well as getting the shout out. But that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hey everyone, be safe out there. Be good out there. Have a great day. Till next time, bye-bye.